2021 GSXR1000R today. Very similar to that bike that I posted about a week ago now, 2 weeks ago on YouTube. I don't know if you saw the video. If you have, check it out. We installed a full Yoshimura AT-2 exhaust. Today, well, tomorrow, I'm getting it prepped. It's pretty late today, but tomorrow I'm gonna install a full M4 system. Stainless. This is a Street Slayer system with a carbon can. I unpacked the can. The rest of it is in here, all wrapped up. Shout out to M4. They always take care of us. Great exhaust system, very well priced. Very happy with their product. Like I said, we have a 2021 GSXR1000R. Same thing like the other bike. I wanted to do a comparison video like I said I was gonna do. So we are going to install a full M4 system. The rest is stock, just like that other GSXR1000R that we did. It was completely stock except for we did the Yoshimura AT-2 system. So hopefully tomorrow we're gonna dyno it. I got a few things to do tomorrow. Have a full dyno on a little Grom with a little standalone system. Hopefully we dyno tomorrow. We shall see. Got a very busy day. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday by the latest. I'm really hoping. So with that being said though, I'm gonna start disassembling the tail, getting it ready for the dyno, start taking off all the fairings, get this ugly stock can off this thing. This thing is hideous, but I get it. EPA, they all gotta meet the restrictions the US places on us. So, but anyway, beautiful bike. I love this black combo. This it's like a satin black with gloss black stickers. It is gorgeous. Suzuki did a great job on this color combo. They usually always do, but this one in particular, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Yeah, this thing is beautiful. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing pumped up and we're gonna start removing the exhaust and taking the tail apart and getting it kind of prepped. So I will, we're gonna do a cut and yeah. Okay, so we got the M4 fully installed. It looks killer. Big fan, like I said previously. I'm a big fan on this exhaust. It looks so good. The finish, the quality, the fitment, everything. It's pretty cool. So this right here, this is the pigtail. This is the wideband sensor that I'm gonna be using for the dyno. So I figured I'd just get it prepped now. So when we, by the time we roll it onto the dyno, I can just plug into it and go. Save me a little bit of time. So here's the finish. It looks good, man. It's just gonna poke out just a little bit. The fairing's gonna come down here. I'm actually gonna put the fairings on, but I at least wanted you guys to see the quality differences between this and the Yoshimura AT-2 race exhaust, that other stainless system. This one, they don't put any coating on it. This color is just the reflection off the trailer here that's sitting behind me. I got a red trailer, so it's kind of giving it a kind of a strange hue to it here. But needless to say, this exhaust looks killer. We made sure all the little springs are all facing, I guess you could say, so you can read it, you know. I know it's kind of petty, but it's the small details that matter to me. So I like kind of doing these little extra small things whenever I do an install like this. I've already wiped down the exhaust. I'm gonna go through and wipe it all again. I'm gonna take this off, clean it up, and we'll do a, actually, let's start it up. Let's see what it sounds like real quick. Let's do a sound check. I love it. That thing sounds awesome. This thing sounds great. This is definitely one of my favorite exhaust systems. I really like the M4. That Yoshi also very impressive. Very curious to see what this does compared to the other GSXR1000 with the Yoshi installed. Now, this customer, I did look at the invoice. He does want a Sprint filter installed, but what I'm gonna do a little extra work for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do the full tune, everything on this without the filter installed. So I'm gonna do the full ECU flash and dyno tune on this bike before I install the Sprint filter, okay? And then what I'm gonna do at the end, I'll install the Sprint filter and then do the last few pulls, make any kind of adjustments, if you will. So that way we can actually see an apples to apples comparison. I wanna be fair about it. I'm very curious, and I want to be as legit as I can. I know some people or some companies, you know, they kind of skew the data here and there. They'll add race gas or something to bump up the numbers before they do their before and afters. But needless to say, I just want to see a fair comparison all in all. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to dress her up real quick, throw it on the dyno. I'm running out of time, and get this thing moving. All right, see. We just ran the 2021 GSXR1000 with the M4. This is the baseline. This is before any tuning or ECU flashing is done. We're at 153 horsepower at basically 11,000 RPM. And we made almost 74 foot-pounds of torque. So this baseline is a little bit lower than what the Yoshi baselined at. We have a nice linear power band. We have a fall off up here because the main throttle plates, they're restricted in the ECU, just like the other GSXR that we did, same thing. We have a pretty lean air fuel all the way through up until about 9K, 8,500 or so. And then again, it kind of leans out, kind of goes all over the place, lean, little rich, and then we're pretty safe up top. But all in all, the bike's gonna have all that hesitation, lack of throttle response, sluggish pull, because again, this low end, it's all running lean. We need to fix all this. We need to fix a ton of the partial throttle map. There's a bunch to fix, but that's what we do here. So, all right, I'm gonna keep it moving, do the bench flash and everything, and start working on this thing. got pretty good data on that 2021 GSXR 1000R. I had to finish it up. It was about to rain here. It was about to storm. The customer wanted his bike back, so the last thing I wanted to do is sit here and, you know, make a YouTube video while he's waiting and be a little rude to me. So anyway, I waited until he's gone. I did all the tuning. So here is what we're looking at. Here are the numbers, okay? We have the baseline, the full exhaust. So the baseline included the full M4, by the way. It wasn't a completely stock cam. So we have the full M4 exhaust final tune, which came out to 180 actually, which I was a little surprised. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. I have dynoed other ones that made a little bit more than this, but they made 180 horsepower with just the full M4 exhaust and 80 foot-pounds of torque. So still pretty strong bike, very, very strong bike. And then what we ended up doing is for this final right here, this green one, this final, I installed the Sprint POA air filter. So, and I did a little bit of tuning with that as well. So we ended up making 181.79 wheel horsepower and 80 foot-pounds of torque, almost 81 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty good. And you can see right here, it's pretty hard to see, but the Sprint does pick up about a horsepower throughout the pool, anywhere from about 1 to about 1.5 horsepower. So in case anyone was ever really wondering about what a Sprint P08 can do, this is about it. Don't expect massive gains. It's not gonna pick up a ton. Here we picked up about 2 horsepower. And here we picked up, yeah, about 2 horsepower, 1.5 to 2 is typically what I see. Here's about 2.5 up at peak, 2.5 or so. We picked up pretty good torque too. So all in all, we probably picked up, what is that, 13, 14 foot-pounds of torque. Golly, that's incredible, 14 foot-pounds of torque increase. And let's see our power output. Let's see, so we're seeing differences here from 144 all the way up, final number 181. So what are we talking about? We're talking about almost, Jesus Christ. We're talking about 37 wheel horsepower gain today on this bike, which is incredible, to be honest with you. I'm pretty proud of that, honestly, I must say. So now here's where it gets interesting though. I don't mean to ramble, but here's where it gets interesting. Let's take off all these numbers and let's compare this GSXR that made 180 or 181 rather. Let's compare this GSXR 1000 with the full M4 exhaust, and now let's compare it with the guy that had the full Yoshimura exhaust. Now the Yoshimura made a little bit more almost all the way around. There is a spot right here at the low end at 6,000 RPM where the M4 pulls through. And I'm not sure why. It could be the design of the collector, could be the canister. This was a short styled exhaust as you saw earlier. It's not a long muffler. It's not a high mount or anything like that, but it does have a pretty decent power gain right here at that 6K mark. It plateaued a little bit better than the full M4. So remember, the red one, our red line is the full Yoshimura AT-2. And with a stock air filter, from my knowledge, it was a stock air filter versus a full M4 exhaust with a Sprint P08 air filter installed. Very, very similar in numbers. The weather conditions were pretty similar. Let's look. Okay, yeah, weather conditions were identical. So today we were at 91 degrees with 42% humidity, a little bit higher on the humidity. Not crazy, but a little bit. And then the other day, a couple weeks ago, we were at 93 degrees with 40% humidity. So it kind of balances out. We still had a correction factor or percentage of 3%. So, you know, it pretty much evens out a little bit. You know, they could be off a little bit, but again, you know, it's a very interesting test. I just wanted to see. I was so curious. Now I actually have some raw data. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and I enjoy seeing the numbers. Again, these are some very basic tests, but these are the tests that I like to do because we actually had this is pretty consistent. This is pretty hard data. We had similar weather conditions. We had similar bikes with similar mileage. They had similar mods. I mean, you know, this is good data. I like data like this because it's pretty consistent and it's pretty truthful in the numbers. So the Yoshimura does retail a little bit more expensive than the M4, so maybe that's your trade-off, you know. Maybe you want an extra 3 horsepower for that. It's about $300 difference or so. Maybe you want to do that. I don't know. It's your call. So they're both badass systems. They're both beautiful. They both flow really well. They both make very good power once you tune them. So, you know, it is what it is. Just choose which one you like. But anyways, you know, numbers don't lie. They speak for themselves. So we'll keep on testing. I do have other ones that want to come back. We want to throw some more mods at some of the other ones that are a little bit further along versus just an exhaust system, for instance. They do have a few more bolt-on mods, and I'm really curious to start comparing some of those. We do have a few comparisons, but I'll save that for another video. I'll make strictly a comparison video if you guys want me to. Please leave a comment down below and let me know if you want me to do more comparison videos. I love it. I always find it very interesting because I always hear stories about people with other mods and what do I think, would they win versus their friends and stuff. So this to me is pretty cool. So now I can actually get pretty good data on this, and you know, the more you know, it enables you to make better decisions in the future for future customers. So I'll be able to recommend stuff based on budget and preference and stuff like that. And now I have pretty good numbers. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you as always. I do. Thank you so much. If you do enjoy this, please like, please share it.